Well, welcome again to our reading of selections from Thucydides, Book 4, and we're up to chapter 30. So, apode tu Aetolikou pathous. So from the Aetolican disaster, this is the Aetolian disaster, and which had occurred timeros to some extent on account of the woodlands. These things not least came to him. So the Aetolian disaster, which has been caused mainly by the wood, these things occurred to him. So what happened here was that in 426 Demosthenes' forces were routed by the Aetolians, and about 120 Athenians were killed, and he's partially blaming this on the fact that he was fighting in woodland. So he's not going to make the same mistake twice, and the genitive absolute here, the soldiers being compelled on account of the lack of space of the island, pros iscontes, it's strengthening strengthening the extreme parts of the island. They were compelled to have their breakfast, or to have their supper, dia profulaces, by means of an armed guard or an advanced guard. Another genitive absolute here, and someone having set fire, katamikron, to a small part of the forest, archontes, unwillingly, or unwilling, so turned into an adverb in English, unintentionally, so it goes with the tinos. So someone unwilling or unwittingly, perhaps, having set fire to a small part of the forest, and after this a wind coming up, the greater part of it escaped notice, being burnt. This is a aorist passive participle here from katakaio, and it's neuter because it's this top holu, the most part. So the greater part of it was burnt before they realised, is the meaning of it. So the greater part escaped notice, being burnt. And thus, so as a result then, having seen the Spartans being much greater in number, for he previously thought, understand, they had sent in food for a smaller group, genitive comparison, than those that were autu there. This is this adverbial use of autu, meaning there. So having noticed that they had sent in food to a smaller number, so previously having sent in food to a smaller number than those who were in fact there, and having noticed that the island being more easy to land on, this is this is from that u plus the upper bino to land on an island, to land, and the u is easier. So the island being much easier to land on, at that time, now unfortunately we get a page break here, so hos ep, to keep in our minds, and that the Athenians regarded as more serious. So the Athenians took it more seriously, hos epi, as an object axiokrion, worthy of more serious attention. So we could translate also, the Athenians regarded the enterprise as one more worthy of serious action. To try and put all the bits together there. And they made preparation for the enterprise, epikeresin, and having sent for an army, so that's the meta with the pempo, having sent out for an army from the allies who were nearby, and hetoimazdone, preparing the other things and making other preparations. But Kleon, having sent ahead to him, that is to Demosthenes, an angelon, a messenger, hos haixone, this is future participle from haiko, this is a standard idiom with hos plus future participle. So having sent a message ahead that he was about to come, and having the army which he had asked for, remember in the earlier sections he asks the assembly for an army, he comes, so here historic present, he arrives in Pylos, so he came to Pylos, he arrived at Pylos, and at the same, and now homogenomoi, having become together, so when they had met, they send, historic present, firstly into the, on the mainland, sorry, they sent to the army on the mainland a herald, this is to the Spartans on the mainland, pro caluminoi, well, to ascertain whether, so perhaps inviting them, making invitation that if, so probably better to translate it to find out whether they were willing, or inviting them if they wanted to bid them to hand over those men in the island to them, that is to the Athenians, anu kundunu, without any danger, both their weapons and themselves. Ho, on the condition that te reisontai, they will keep them, fulake te metria, it's a funny expression here, it literally in a measured guard, or with a measured guard, so in gentle custody, so they would be treated well. Heos, until something, there's the verb here, sum bathe, this is from sum bino, until there be agreement in some way regarding the greater matter. In other words, until some agreement was made regarding the broader issue or the main question. So they're offering them to hand themselves over, and they can do that without any fighting, so without running any danger. And that's the end of chapter 30.